Hi, I'm Brasco.
And I'm Beast, and today we're going to be discussing what should folks in the second half of their life discuss that don't nobody ever want to discuss around death.
Death.
Brasco&Beast. Fit, fabulous, and frisky.
Do you believe me when I tell you I prayed for a woman like you come in my life? Hard for you to believe that, right? When I ain't prayed for all that came with you. That's some extra stuff that came with you that I wasn't praying for. That just kind of came with the package, but
Really?
But the Lord make you work with stuff, because I mean, when God told Noah to build the ark, it ain't like he built it for him. He had to go chop the wood. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like this second half of my life is better because the person that I'm blessed. When I come home from work and I'm able to spend time with you, I don't feel like, oh man, I'd rather go get a drink and then I'll have to come home after I get a drink. I don't feel like I don't dread coming home to you. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Because you have a lot of the qualities I've always wanted to have in a partner. But as we get older, something that people don't want to talk about, but as we get older, we all have health problems, health challenges, right?
Yes.
I have my health challenges. You have yours.
Yours are real serious health challenges.
So can yours.
Mine
be.
can be too. Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So we could both be one God's grace moment away from being taken away from each other. I would feel cheated if you were taken away from me anytime short of 50 years.
So 103 years old?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to still be fine, and I'm going to still be trying.
Okay.
For real. Mm-hmm. I know this ain't a conversation nobody want to have, but I mean...
No, I wasn't actually expecting to have this,
no.
Especially not taping it.
No, I know. But we're going to be real about it, right?
Yeah.
I would feel jilted because I made it through a bad relationship for 20-something years. Now, it wasn't all bad, okay? Even you, and see this part, she don't even, to me, is deserving of this. You've even argued her case that it can't all be bad.
Cannot.
Right? And it wasn't all bad. Now, them last 10, 12 was, but not all bad. Them last 10, 12 was a mother, but... I really don't know what I do. I lost my best friend, Frankie Curtis. I grew up with him. On Park Avenue on the west side of my town. That was my boy all day, every day. He lost his wife a year later. He lost his wife to cancer, and then a year later, he drank himself literally. He died from broke heart too. I was thinking about that. Now that I actually found somebody that I want to spend the rest of my life with, I would feel cheated. I would feel angry. I would be like, well, God, why would you bring something like that so good in my life and then take it from me? I don't know how I would react at this stage. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you have, when you're in your second stage of life, there's some realities you have to say. We are not 18.
True.
Okay?
Yeah.
We are not 21. We are not 25. We're not even 30. And for those who look at us, they may not believe this part. We ain't even 40. Okay?
Yeah.
we ain't even 50. We are past 50, to be honest. If we going to keep it real right now, right? We past 50, both of us, right?
Yeah.
I've had health problems where I've literally had heart attacks, and I've actually died once.
Yeah.
Right?
And I've been with you through one incident.
And you've been through with me through one incident with my heart.
Yes.
You know.
Which really made it real for me. I think I told you that. Like, you explained to me, you told me about the past, but sit in the hospital and to, you know, go to sleep. You know, I stayed in the hospital with you that whole night, overnight.
Yeah.
You know, on your bed with you. You know,
actually, that was kind of hot. It was kind of hot. She was in the bed with
yeah, the nurse was like, no, you're not supposed to be in the bed with him.
You're supposed to be in the bed with him.
Supposed to be in the chair. I was all like, you know, bundled up. I was all up in you, a spoon position. I was spooned all up in you.
How you gonna be in the bed with me and I'm suffering from a heart attack? you gonna jump in the bed?
That's why she was like, excuse me.
But he's here to heal. You're not supposed to. But
You're
ma'am,
not
you're not
supposed
supposed to be in the bed. She was awfully nice.
She was.
We ain't gonna mention her name. She was like, she let the rules be broken that night. So we ain't gonna snitch on her.
I was like, hey.
She looked at your eyes. She knew you wasn't getting up out of that bed.
I was like, look.
Hey, call the cops.
Yes.
You was like, call them.
Yeah.
I guess. You said something that day that really got me. Like, it was such an odd question, but I didn't want to. It was an odd question, but it was a good question you asked me. There was something you asked me that really threw me, but it brought the realness of how old I was that moment.
What?
And the many times I had many heart issues over and over again, it brought the realness of that moment. And it came from your practical background, from your practical occupational background. You said, do you have a living will? I was like,
no, you were like,
I was like, this.
like, wait a minute.
You got some insurance on me I don't know about. What you do you have a living will? Do you have a do not resuscitate order? What is it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, do not resuscitate order.
Do not DNR, right? Mm-hmm. DNR. Do you have a DNR? I'm like, are you an organ? I'm like, no, look.
Yeah, we were talking about.
Look. I done made love with you. I done done all kind of stuff with you. I done some grimy stuff with you. But I was offended. He asked me no personal stuff like that.
I was like, yeah, babe, we're going to get on that.
We have to get on all that. Oh. I guess when you get older, that's something you really have to stop and think about that.
That was me loving you, though. You know that. All that was from
but that's
those kind of conversations. Or like that was like me thinking, I'm gonna be with this man the rest of my life, you know. And you have 3 adult children, you know, and things like that. Because I can tell you, you know, how my kids may feel and how I may feel. It's clear that, you know, everyone needs to know how I feel about. Do I want you to resuscitate? Mm-hmm. You know, I told you I'm an organ donor. So these were little things that I didn't, you know. So if something were to happen to you, your girls need to know that, you know, whatever I did was all according to your will. Yeah.
Wow, I guess you don't really think about that in a relationship. But this is the second half of life, and that's second half means the game over after the second half is over with. There's a first half and there's a second half. Ain't no third half. Mm-hmm. Half is 1 or 2.
Yes.
Right?
This is it.
This is it. So you got to have those this is it conversations. How would you?
I knew then, to say, like, I was working. I was, you know, you didn't want to tell me where you were, because we generally speak a couple of times on a day. And you were so nonchalant about, you know, baby, I just want you to know that I went to the hospital.
Just had a little scare. I was just getting checked. You know.
I was like, what? I was like, no. You're like, you don't need to come. And I'm like, no, I'm on my way to the hospital. This is a 2-hour job because I think I was at work.
Yeah, you were.
Which is, yeah. I knew then. I remember how I felt.
How did you feel?
All I could think of is getting to you. Getting to you. Rescheduling things, knowing that I'm not going to work the next day. And making some arrangements and making sure I was going to be with you. But I claimed that was just going to be a one-night thing. Like in my mind, I was like, yeah, God, we got to go. And if anything, we were trying to talk to the doctor. I was like, when we going to talk to the doctor? Because I wanted you gone that morning. Remember we were trying to. But yeah.
So I guess the first thing we got to really come to terms with that. Number one, when you're doing this second half of life relationship stuff, you got to start having real conversations about the end wishes.
Absolutely.
What's another thing we should talk about? Make sure we have a conversation about it. We're going to do a second life relationship.
It depends on what stage people are in that second half of life relationship.
Yeah. I guess you got to have that. Do you have life insurance?
Yeah. Those conversations.
Wow. Third.
Simple things like
And the other one is
like emergency contacts.
Emergency contact?
Like you and I,
You gotta
when we
establish
first started
it, yeah.
talking about that,
That's
you
true.
know, I had to make sure that my oldest child had your contact information because you and I spend, if I'm not with my children, I'm with you, and being able to reach, you, or you being able to reach them if something were to happen to me. I remember you did the same thing with me. I think you gave me your oldest child's.
I did. Gave to the oldest child. That's the one.
Information at a certain point, and in theory, it would trickle down to whomever else needed to.
Well, it's my oldest child that act like she likes me, so that's the one we were going for. Well, my middle child acts like she sort of likes me, and my younger child, well, she'd be too busy hustling to really come by and check on, but that's okay.
It's okay. And my youngest child is, too young, but my
Right.
oldest child is someone who, at least she needs to know.
True.
Here's your contact information. You have her contact information, and she's not surprised. Like, hey, your mother, blah blah blah. We need you to get here. So I do remember that when that happened for both of us, and we kind of exchanged that kind of information. That signaled a big. That was a big step in the relationship to me, because it's like, okay, this is my like when they say, who is your emergency contact? This person, and then my children. Mm-hmm. It's a big thing.
This person, then my mama, then my children.
Mm-hmm.
Or then my children, whichever order you put them in. But yeah, that's. I just think
that's a big deal for me.
That was a big deal for me too.
Because it opens your relationship up to its significance. Because you're not, to say, here, mama, or here, daughter, this is, my lady information, or,
this is who you
this
contact.
is my man. Yeah, this is my man, and this is his info. My.
This is who you contact if you can't find the body. They ought to know where it is.
Yeah.
But I would say in this case, like I told my my youngest one, if I disappear, she ought to be disappearing with me. We're going down there together.
True.
I said, so you need to go find 2 bodies.
True.
But if you were taken away from me, I would feel. If you were taken away from me, I would tell you this. I ain't felt this much alive in my whole life. So every day up to this one is worth the pain of missing you for the rest of my life. Because the pleasure of what I've had they're more than enough. So every day is an additional gift to me. Now, you don't have to articulate yourself the way I did, or even articulate it at all. But if for some reason I was taken, I would want you to have this forever to know.
So is that why? Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
I need to tell you how much I love you before I'm gone. Not while I'm hopefully from heaven looking down. You know.
Or a different conversation, another conversation, or just in the ground, different faith.
Different faith, or
heaven.
just as the
right.
whichever.
Right.
Yeah, which is a whole nother.
You die, yeah, you're not going to heaven, like to the second coming.
Well, whichever way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, actually, if I'm being more correct, paradise then to heaven. But yeah, okay, I got you. When I really think about it, but yeah, yeah. How would you feel if I was taken from you? What would you want to say? What would you want to tell me if you were taken from me?
What would I want to tell you?
Yeah.
What would I want to tell you? I'm not sure I understand that question. I know how it would feel.
How would you feel?
I would feel just confused, utterly confused. And I would say, not punished, but I wouldn't be able to wrap my head around what the purpose, what God's purpose would be for that, because it would just feel cruel to me, you know. But I think everything happens for a reason, but it would blow my mind, like, why?
Right,
You
why
know,
that?
you are the love of my life, you know, and yeah, I would not be able to get, like, you bring him into my life and then he's gone, he's taken away from me. And I've had enough suffering in my life, you know, why this? You know, so it would be just a very perplexing thing in trying to figure out what lesson, what am I supposed to get, what, you know, understanding or lesson, something from it. Because it would have to be something, but I would not be able to conceptually wrap my brain around it. So it would be pretty tough for me.
Last question.
Mm-hmm.
What is it you would want me to know more than anything else if you were taken away from me?
I would want you to know and to feel without a doubt how much I love you, like how great and profound our love is. Because I think it's a 1 in a million sort of thing, what we have. So I would want you to know, like, okay, I'm not here anymore, but everything that we have and everything that we've experienced, everything we've accomplished, you know, that it was real and it was purposeful. You know?
Cool.
I mean, our love, baby, it's a blessing.
Yep. I agree. Well, I don't ever want to talk about us leaving each other again, but I guess everybody got to have that conversation at least once. So that you don't have to have it again. And so that where you stand on everything is understood and what to do afterwards. And if we check out together,
Yeah.
then our kids can look at the video and know how we feel.
Yeah. I was a little apprehensive when you started, and then I saw you turn the camera on. It's like, hey, so serious, and you know,
but
kind of this is impromptu, not unplanned.
it's not necessarily frisky,
so.
but it's taboo.
It is.
But it's but when you're in a relationship at this time in life, you got to have those conversations because we over 50. And it's a real possibility. And the reason why I bring it up is because here we are in the middle of this COVID-19 lockdown time period, and people are actually leaving. People are being taken away. Not from a car accident, not from a train, not from a plane, but a virus. We got people, I got several frat brothers, they ain't even here no more. People that I know who knew somebody, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you for being honest with me.
Always.
And forever.
And forever. Mm-hmm.
It's just like a dream to me. And always come true. And I know tomorrow will still be the same. And we got a lot of love that won't ever change. And every day, love me your own special way. Now on my heart away with a smile. Take time to tell me, there you go, you really care. And we'll spend tomorrow together. I'll always love you.
Forever. No.
That's
What?
right.
Yeah.
Forever loving you. You got old school. We're going to let you keep your ghetto card now, okay? Till next year's renewal date.
Mm-hmm.
But you still can't play spades.
I can't.
You still can't fry no chicken.
No. You wrong, baby.
I know I'm wrong.
I love you.
That was a
You
very
done?
morbid conversation.
It was very morbid conversation.
But it's a necessary conversation a lot of folks really should have. Got to have the courage to have that kind of conversation. If you're going to live together, if you're going to love together, you got to realize over time, eventually, you may expire together.
Yeah, well said, baby.
So, take the time out to have those conversations. We know it's taboo. It ain't quite frisky, but it's in the category of things that people don't want to talk about all the time.
Definitely taboo. Definitely taboo.
What would you say?
I would say that you take it as an opportunity that if you have a loved one, someone special in your life, that you have the conversation if you haven't had it yet.
Because you're going to have it either before it's time or when it's too late.
Exactly.
Well, that's it.
I'm Brasco.
I'm Beast. We're out of here.
We're out of here.